that question about what makes a Jewish artist is a very complex one. And I think that one of the things that I'm really interested in is not what a Jewish artist might make that is necessarily Jewish in theme, but I think that the idea of Jewishness in art goes much deeper than that. I think there are layers to what constitutes a Jewish artist that is beyond what the art looks like. And for me, it's about where the artist is in relation to the artwork, where the artist is in relation to the bigger picture, and understanding where they fit within the world. And so in short, we might argue that the Jewish artist is constantly negotiating positioning, where they fit in the world. And that positioning is inevitably, in a very Jewish way, both inside and outside, both in the art world and outside of the art world. And that simultaneity is something that produces an ambiguity in the artwork. What I'm really interested in is how an artist might want to understand not only something that's directly relevant to themselves, but also how that might be integrated into the bigger picture of art history. That's why this Chagall show is really interesting and really important. Because you start with the seduction. You think you know Chagall, and you think you know him as a Jewish artist because so much of the imagery is Jewish, is nostalgic for the shtetl, is referential of the Torah, and so on. That's the surface. And if we only read Chagall that way, we're doing him a big disservice. Because actually, Chagall is the quintessential modern artist. And he's modern for a variety of reasons. Stylistically, he's modern, whether he's cubist, constructivist, fauvist, symbolist, whatever. All of those styles that he absorbed and embraced as he's moving through the world. But more than that, he's modern because he's asking where he might fit in relation to this. And there are layers to how a work by Chagall, and I would argue by extension how a work by many Jewish artists might work. There are ingredients that go into the painting. You need to think of them as a kind of movable vocabulary. There's the lived experience, and those experiences that just keep coming back again and again. They are memories or half memories or memories that have been turned into narratives. So there's the lived experience that becomes so materialized, it might not necessarily be his story in the first place. And then there's the Torah that's in his DNA from day one. He knows it backwards. It's inside him. So the stories of the Torah are, if you like, equivalent to his own stories. They become part of a bigger repertoire of thematics, of imagery, of narratives that move through his dreamscape. So what you've got here is some of these ingredients that then have to be mediated into a work of art. And how does he do that? He does that by this negotiation of art history. He knows his art history also very well indeed. So when we get to that moment that we can also see here of the crucifix, it's not just a sacrilegious moment, but it is a moment that is negotiating all the crucifixes that have been painted since the Renaissance and beyond. He knows them, and he's dealing with them. It's transgressive by definition, and it's transgressive for the Jew, but also when he places one of those crucifixes in a church, I would argue that it is probably transgressive within Christian theology as well. Why? Because his crucified figure is for sure a Jew. It's using a genre that's fully defined and established within art history as a way of describing the suffering of the Jew that he is seeing, that he has seen with his own eyes. And it's his way of tentatively, one might argue also kind of quite audaciously, entering into the history of art as a, this is the genre in which we describe suffering, so this is the genre in which my Jew will be. So I'm really interested in that complex positioning inside and out of that history. And it's an important lesson for us.